Gun. What do you do? You ain't about to black people for real. You ain't ready to give your fucking life and get the fuck out of here. They don't pick up guns. What do you do? You ain't about to black people for real. You ain't ready to give your fucking life and get the fuck out of here right now. I'ma wait. Because somebody got some motherfucking pussy. You ain't about to black people for real. You ain't ready to give your fucking life and get the fuck out of here right now. I'ma wait. Because somebody got some motherfucking pussy.
Check the roof. 2 o'clock. Assume the position. Now. Two o'clock.
Hey, everybody who don't know, this garage right here goes up higher in that building. And if you get on this garage, you have to find it downstairs. You looking down.
Walking around. Everybody. So when I stage, everybody just keep with my friends. The stage is up to you. That's the way we kill. That's to put it. I want it so that nobody makes a mistake going in there. Right. So what's going to happen is we're going to do that tomorrow. We just can't do it now because we're traffic. But it'll be fun.
And to law enforcement, if you really want to have the worst day in U.S. history, if you really want to see what it's like to all that shit you carry, what it's like when they know how to shoot back, if you really want it like that, we're going to bring it to you. You see, the city of Minneapolis, you got one chance to fix this shit. Because when we show the fuck up, it's gonna be the worst thing. Don't call your National Guard out. We got something for them. You call me and say, Jay, I done went back to school and scooped these niggas' kids up. What you want me to do with them? If you got the mayor tied up with duct tape and a rope in the back of your SUV and say, Jay, I got this nigga, what you want to do with it? Then you call me.
Pay attention to the stairs. That is John Fitzgerald Johnson. This is March 9th, 2016 at the Donald Trump
Essentially, provide your number. Just need to make an initial outreach contact. What I envisioned, what the Lord had put on my heart, was for you and I to perhaps have a private man to be in public, but
Us divided. We are the United States of America, one country, indivisible, unto God.
Now hold up, they been doing this all day. Everybody who's ex-military, raise their hand. Yeah. I want everybody who's ex-military to keep an eye out on the people who are not. I'm expecting more from you than I am from these civilians.
Ass women, y'all laughing, rolling. I'm telling it, listen. So now they done got some people in there that we a little friendly with, but that's the problem. We didn't win shit.
They do they racism nice.
Right,
See,
right.
Trump keep on your toes.
Right.
You know?
And I know this gonna sound crazy. I know, but see, the only thing that Trump did that was good was he exposed what was already there. He brought it to the surface.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine.
Check.
To watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali. Who was the first to remind you and bind you back? See Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you wasn't black. Prove it straight back. You tripping off Trump, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. Family, see y'all tonight, 9:30. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Welcome to another edition of Morse Road TV. I'm your host, Brother Harker Bay. Can you hear me? Press 7 if you can hear me. How do I sound? Sound okay? Well. Yeah. Let me say this. First of all, I don't think we should celebrate when any one of us goes to jail. I don't know about you. I don't know if you ever been to jail before, but unfortunately, in my past life, I have. And it's not a pleasant experience if you're used to any type of liberty in your life. It's not. You could be the toughest guy in the world, which Grandmaster Jay is not. But you could be the toughest guy in the world. But when those four walls begin to close in, like it's about to happen to Karen, the little Darren Boss talk, y'all might don't watch him. It's so boring. But anyway, when them walls begin to close in, I will share this with you. I don't like to share stories like from certain parts of my experience in life because I think sometimes it dramatizes and Hollywoodizes the experience. But I'll say this. I've seen straight gangsters, killers with reputations to knock out, take out any and everybody, including them folk. But I've watched a few look crazy. How you do this? They gonna keep us in here all day? I don't mean to make fun. Listen, how long? When we go out to eat, I'm not laughing. It's not a funny matter. But what I'm telling you, you need to share this to children. Stop playing with fire because you will get burnt. Now, you know I'm a goofy, silly guy, so I laugh, but I'm not laughing at a brother going to jail. I don't do that. I'm laughing at the idea of some experiences that I've had in my past life. And I'm telling you, the toughest of the tough. That's why when people talk that tough talk to me like, let's box, I say no. No. A couple people came on the internet and say, let's box, you know. The one that be on the front of the video that say, Ahmad Aubrey, Toronto Johnson, he say, let's get together and box. What's the other one? Ali Muhammad. Let's box. I'm like, sure. But let's go to a spot, close the door, and see who walk out. You can box all you want. Go to a spot, close the door. Your people out front, my people out front, and let's see who walk out. And let the camera be on to see who walks out. See, I ain't gonna play no games and entertain social media with some celebrity boxing match. See, I don't like you frauds. Fraud now people. I don't like you frauds swindling our people. I'm just trying to inform the people. And I expect you to prove me wrong. I don't expect you want to try to fight me in a celebrity boxing match for somebody else's entertainment. But what I will do, we can shut the door and see who walk out. And where I get that from is that old college experience. Because where I come from, you shut the door and whoever walk out, they walk out. Whoever don't, they don't. And that's what I'm saying tonight. People keep playing with fire. Listen, there is no doubt in my mind that he came in as an op. He continues to be an op. And he set people up in order to send information to the people. I'm standing on that. I'm not changing that. I'm standing on that. You hear what I say? I'm standing on it. I don't change. Listen, I don't change my position. See, the problem with this generation, some of them are 50, some of them are 60. For one thing, you're too old to be walking up the street carrying 22 automatic weapons talking about you a revolutionary. You should be sitting around, maybe, I don't condone you drinking because I don't drink, but maybe you should be sitting around drinking a Bud Ice or something with a Newport while your wife cooking cookies. And some of your older sisters, you should be baking cookies. You shouldn't be walking around with 22 automatics, ARs, talking about you a revolutionary and you ain't changing nothing because revolution only means change. You ain't changing nothing. Let me tell you something. I'm going to get into my presentation, but I got to vent, man, because this is a sad situation. The sad part about it is that it was a great opportunity to organize people around something real. But in fact, this guy organized people around something fake and lost the confidence of thousands and thousands and thousands potential freedom fighters as it relates to economic freedom, spiritual freedom, cultural freedom, and so many other freedoms. Getting these people to spend their money to go around the country on a wild goose chase about nothing. I guarantee you, most of the people that went on this wild goose chase figured out by the 3rd March that their bank account was looking funny and ain't no progress was being made. Guarantee you. I guarantee you. Do you know how much it costs to move around the country? Do you know? Anybody moves around the country? If you got family, most people got family, they got children, and you running around on a wild goose chase with no progress in sight, no plan in sight. Come on. Aren't we more intelligent than this? Listen, I said 2 things. I said either this guy is an agent, and when I say agent, I don't even like to use that no more. Could be an informant. When I say agent, let me tell you what I mean. I don't mean that he's particularly an agent of the government. He could be an agent of somebody that's working for the government as a distraction. He could be an agent of just somebody to control one situation in order to get information. I believe and continue to believe that he was employed by Trump in 2016. That's what I believe. I believe he was employed by Trump in 2016. Now, I wish the sister that I seen in the grocery store last week was on the show, but let me show you something. This is what I choose to believe.
Young, beautiful children, I will tell you, that work.
Pay attention to the stairs. That is John Fitzgerald Johnson.
I'm showing footage that I... Now, what is he doing? What is he doing? Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing. Let's go back. What is he doing? Now, if y'all haven't been watching the show, y'all know that I showed the video where he was literally breaking up a fight at the Trump. Man, this guy's on security for Trump. There is no escape from this. There is no escape from this. Let me tell you something. There is no escape from that. Let me share something with you. Let me ask y'all, how many of y'all will support me putting together a full documentary? I got all the stuff in the vote. I got stuff ain't nobody seen. Anybody want to see? Well, anybody want to see it from the beginning, all the way through? A full-fledged documentary like Hidden Colors? Listen, like Hidden Colors. See, let me tell you something. This story is deeper than what you think. This story is much deeper than what you think. Just because someone goes to jail, that doesn't mean nothing. Let me tell you something. I need to get this show started. When informants go rogue, or when they are done with the informant, they throw them away. You ever notice that most informants supposedly commit suicide? Anybody ever notice that? Press 7 if you ever know that. Any ever heard of Aoki? Richard Aoki, who was one of the beginning members of the Black Panther Party, supposedly committed suicide after, now he didn't live to 70-some years, after it was uncovered, and we're going to talk about that later, after it was uncovered that he was an informant. Now, the Black Panther Party was over and gone for all intents and purposes. William O'Neill commits suicide. I'm telling you, when they're done with you, they throw you away. That don't... Listen, if Trump... Listen, if Trump... Look, True News exposing the blues. That's right. That's right. He was a Japanese guy. A Japanese guy. Richard Aoki. Look up Richard Aoki. And look at all of these informants. Listen, this ain't new. This is why in the Moorish Science Temple of America, Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches that a mastermind can trace himself back and thus he knows. What that means in simple terms, just look back at history. Just look back at history and you'll see exactly what's going on. You'll be able to recognize each and every person playing their role. You'll be able to recognize it. Because let me tell you something. They haven't failed yet. They haven't failed yet in disbanding liberation organizations. So why change the way that they do it? The only thing that changes is the players. And we in this technology age, they're using this screen. But hey, they watching me now. Who cares? I don't break no law. I know it's foolish to even try to attempt to walk with guns, screaming nonsense with no plan and no end in sight. I know that's stupidity. I wouldn't even teach my son that. Come on, we're gonna train. Let's train with 2 guns, son. Let's train with 2 guns and walk down the street. You know they're protesting. We got a right to bear arms. Let's protest with our guns, son. Why I want to let you know what I'm rocking with. When I come up from a place where we ain't want people to know all our business. Why I need to let you know what I'm rocking with? Why? It look cute. It look cute. You know what I mean? Let me show you something. It look real cute, right? Peace, you Okada. Listen, it look real cute. It look real cute because you can walk with guns. Let me show you something real quick. I'm gonna get into the show in a second, man. Now, listen, I want to say again, there is never a time where we should celebrate a fool going to jail for being a fool. We should never celebrate that. You hear what I say? However, this guy played both sides. I'm telling you now, he played both sides and he played himself out. He went too far. And you could tell when he went too far. Because if you follow the footprints that he laid, you could tell he went too far because he started talking more and more reckless as time went on. He started talking more and more reckless. When time went on, he started getting super, super, super crazy. Let me pull this up real quick. And so, with that being said, now, let me see. Let me get this real quick. Let me get this to you real quick. Man, listen. If anybody follows somebody, I know whoever was true revolutionaries was sitting on the sideline when they was hearing stuff like this. Hold up. Watch here. Let me see where I put it at. Come on, man. When they were sitting down.
If you really want to have the worst day in U.S. history, if you really want to see what it's like to all that shit you carry, what it's like when they know how to shoot back, if you really want it like that, we're going to bring it to you. You see?
What fool talked this mess on the internet to that? He's just not talking ambiguously. He's talking to a real situation. He's talking to a real situation. Listen, family. I want you to hear what I'm saying. This fool is talking to a real situation. He's not talking ambiguously. He's talking to a situation that took place, and he's talking to the police on the internet. Don't be trying to talk. Listen, okay, we're going to get into the case in a minute. Listen.
The city of Minneapolis, you got one chance to fix this shit. Because when we show the fuck up, it's going to be the worst thing.
Now, all you sympathizers, even if this guy, even if you believe he's not an op, I believe he is. He went too far. He went too far. Now, let me tell you something. What I mean he went too far, only a fool would go on the internet like this. And the young brothers need to learn too, that you don't go on the internet talking stupid and talking reckless. You don't become on the internet talking crazy. Like you ain't really built like that. You don't really want that smoke for real. You don't want that smoke for real. But what you're trying to do is excite young brothers to do what you refuse to do. That's what this was all about. This was about exciting young, maybe less educated brothers or sisters to do what he would not do. He wasn't about this. Listen to this, man. This is why I did all them videos. Because you don't do something like this. This is dangerous, this is reckless, and it's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. Bro, let me say this real quick. Bro, you like 58 years old. This what we doing? You like 58 years old. Like you 2 years from 60. At that point, you was what? 55? Brother, you was a half 105. A half 100 plus 5, man, you tripping. You was a half 100 plus 5 talking like this. And somebody supposed to have sympathy or for real? You know how many young brothers stepped out there and did this stuff, though, that you don't hear about? That'll be in the documentary. You know how many young people stepped out and did this stupidity? Huh? It's one brother that did it, and we ain't heard from him since. Busting at the police, man. Come on, man. Somebody's talking about, he wasn't an agent because they locked him up. Okay, wait till I finish this tonight. We'll see.
Don't call your National Guard out. We got something for them.
This fool say, call your National Guard. We got something for them. You know what I mean? And then he want to take it all back. Now listen to this.
Call me and say, Jay.
Look, I'm going to remind y'all. See, I'm going to do different. I'm going to remind you. And then I'm going to bring you up to speed and show you why he was convicted. You know what I'm saying? Or my understanding why he was convicted in watching this mess. Watch it. I
done went back to school and scooped these niggas' kids up. What you want me to do with them? If you got the mayor tied up with duct tape and a rope in the back of your SUV and said, Jay, I got this nigga, what you want to do with it? Then you call me.
Y'all see that? And let me tell you something. Cryptonomics said, I don't think he locked up. They said he was, but I don't think he is, despite the mugshot. And this is the game that they play. See, this is what y'all don't understand. This is the game that they play. See, y'all don't know how deep the rabbit hole gets. When it's an op, when it's one who working for the system, you never know which way it might go. You never know which way it might go. He could walk in the front of the jail and out the back of the jail and chill in a small little compound in Africa. Do you know he was in the military for 17 years? Somebody put 17 years. Do anybody know that he was in the military for 17 years? Somebody type in 17 years. 17 years. Do you know what 17 years is? 17 years. Do you know what 17 years is? You know how long that is? You know what type of dedication it takes for 17 years? Do you know what type of manipulation of the mind that can take place in 17 years? Do you know what type of compromise that can happen within 17 years? That's right. Something I could never do. You right about that, Q exclusive. I could never do it. You're right. You're absolutely right. 17 years. Anybody know the process of adaptation of the mind? Anybody know? You know the mind that begins to adapt after about 90 days to 6 months? In any situation, the mind begins to formulate itself around the concept and what it's bringing in, and then it begins to make it its own. That's how the minds work. So you're talking about 17 years of adaptation to a way of thinking, and now he's a freedom fighter. For real? You think so? He doesn't even fit the mold of a freedom fighter. He doesn't even fit the aura or the persona of a freedom fighter. He fits the persona of an actor. That's right. He doesn't even fit the persona. But let's get into it real quick, because I know you was waiting for some slides, and I like to give it to you right. Now, first of all, let's go to the top of it. Let's go to the top of the chart. What y'all might not understand is, and what you should, it should be very simple to understand what he was convicted of. First of all, I'm not here to convict him twice. I don't celebrate anybody going to jail. That ain't what I do. I'm not happy somebody's gone to jail. In fact, it's a crying shame that this brother had the opportunity. He had the opportunity to really bring people to some resolution by the way of bringing people out. He brought a lot of people out. People say, well, you give him credit for that. But I mean, come on, to bring people out and get them to drink Kool-Aid, you don't get no credit for that. You don't get no credit for that. Jim Jones don't get credit for turning people into Christians to drink Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Let me see what somebody say real quick. Okay, why are you so adamant and so full of contempt for this man? There is no full of contempt for this man. There is facts against fiction. As he said, facts over fiction. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling the truth. Do you want to challenge my facts that I put forward? You want let's hey, I got a few hours. Come on, Chris. You want to challenge my facts? Let me see if I can share this real quick. Come on, Chris. Let's go facts. Let's go fact for fact. Show me what you got. Come on. Facts over feelings. Don't bring your feelings. While you working on hitting the link, anybody want to hit the link? Let's go facts over feelings. Remember, he got that facts over feelings. Let's deal with facts. I got my slides ready. You feel me? Listen, I like what TSG said. Do you know, TSG said, I heard sentencing in August. Will you take the ban and cover it? I think I'm going to have to. But let me say this, TSG. You know the funny thing about this? We couldn't even figure out, was this an actual trial? Or was it me and the team? We was trying to figure out, was it an actual trial that was about to happen? Or was it I forget the name of the word. I forget, it was a legal process that it kept coming up in the system. So we wasn't really sure. And then what happened is, up in the system saying the jury was selected. I'm like, what? They was really smoothing this over so the public, they was really smoothing this through so the public didn't know. Because when you go and look it up, wasn't nothing coming up. This is why if everybody in here, if they be honest, you know that you didn't know that he was going to trial that day. Only people that was probably close to him knew, and some of it that leaked on the internet. But man, we was looking. They wasn't saying that he was actually going to trial. It was weird. The way this played out was weird. I'd never seen it before in my life. But with that being said, I guess bro ain't gonna come in the building. But with that being said, now, check this out. This is one of the things he was convicted of, all right? Now, be clear. All the emotional people, I want you to be clear on this. He was charged with assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers of employees, all right? Now, check this out. It says, in general, whoever forcibly assaults, he didn't forcibly assault, resists, opposes, impedes, intimidates, or interfere with any person designated in section 1114. Then it drops down and said, that's right. Nobody knew, bro. Nobody knew. That thing slid through so fast. Then it says, number 2, forcibly assaults, intimidates, or intimidates any person who formerly served as a federal officer on account of performance. Now, let's stop right there. Do we remember that they accused him of aiming a gun at a police? Press number 7. They was accused of aiming a gun at a police. They got him on camera aiming a gun at the police. Would that be hard to prove intimidation? Now here's the issue. I think he went rogue because here's the issue. I did a show and showing you the reports where they had meetings with Grandmaster Jay and told him that they will be on the roof. Don't point your gun at us. Do anybody remember that? They said we will be in the report. In the report, they said we will be on the roof. He had meetings with the police. I'm going to say it one more time. He had meetings with the police. How can anybody in their right mind justify one who works with the police and the police flip the script on them and they go to jail and they feel like something they got done wrong? He was working with the police. All of y'all went and got blue wristbands, was working with the police. And there is nothing wrong if that's the way that you do your thing. But you can't work with the police and aim your gun at the police. You can't work with the police talking about kidnapping police. You can't work with the police and cuss out the police. You can't work with the police and act like you are in opposition of the police. It don't work like that. Everybody that want to defend Grandmaster Jay and say he got a bad shake, you're insane. You're insane. You can't work with the police and threaten the police. That's a slap in the face. You talking to governors, you talking to congressmen, you talking to police chiefs, you talking to all of these people, and yet you're going to threaten them. That don't make sense. See, what he thought was he was going to get a pass because he was rocking with Trump. That's what he thought. But what y'all don't know about politics, and some of y'all may do, that just because you're working for one side, that don't mean the whole team rocking with you, I guess, because the Democrat side ain't rocking with Trump. And if the Democrat side got anything to say about it, you out of here. Now, my thing is this. They had to get permits. They had to get permits, so they had to work with them. Let me tell you something. You don't go screaming talking about justice or else and be taken serious if you asking to march. See, let me tell you something. You're supposed to have a right. Isn't that, am I wrong that you got a right to public assembly? Am I wrong? I mean, you're gonna work with the police. You're gonna tell them where you're gonna march. The taxpayers are gonna put up barriers. They're gonna do all of that. They're putting up barriers to protect you from the people that you're supposed to protect. I'm gonna say it again. They put barriers in between NFAC and the people that they're supposed to protect. How you a people's organization, but you can't even go amongst the people? You need the police to put up barriers. You need the taxpayers. You talking to, listen, you talking this radical nonsense about the government, but you're using government funds in order to keep you safe. You need government funds to keep you safe with these barriers. Government funds pays for them blue bands. Government funds. The hard-working citizens of Kentucky paid for those bands. That's right. The hard-working citizens of Kentucky paid for them barriers. The hard-working citizens of Kentucky paid for those businesses to shut down. That's who paid for it. But you're sitting up there, you're sitting up there talking reckless. Let's go on, family. Family, I hope y'all hit that like. We about to get busy now. Let me share. Because people been sending me message. Oh, he ain't no agent now. Yes, he is. Of course he is. If anybody over 45 and have studied history, many agents went jail. Many agents went jail and got out. Many of them. You ain't said nothing slick. Now let's go. So, first of all, the intimidation, according to them, they proved it, according to them. But here we go again. Let me tell you what's crazy about. Here is the stupidity of everything. This goofy fool don't even know the laws and that he's violating. He don't even know the laws that he's violating. I'm telling you, I don't know this. I didn't even know something like this exists. That you ain't got to touch nobody. You ain't got to run up on nobody. I ain't even know this exists. But again, I ain't the one marching with automatic weapons either. I might don't need to know this. Because I ain't the one marching down the street with automatic weapons. But I didn't know that. I didn't even know something like this exists. And I'm pretty sure he didn't either. How can you be into something that you're not even aware of the ramifications or the repercussions that come with it? And hold up now. Wait till we come back and read the transcript. Wait till we read the transcript. You think we saying something now? Next week, we're going to read the transcript. This is a part of it. This says, watch it. It says the prosecution showed additional footage from that night saying Johnson in his testimony believed he was the only one with tactical flashlight on his gun. However, the prosecutor said they could see two other with flashlights. So he came up with the concept that he was looking, see if it was children with paintballs. I don't know. Let me tell you something, family. I'm going to laugh a few times. Family. How in the world that your defense attorney will allow you to come up with a defense that you thought that children was on the roof with paintballs? Your attorney thought that was a reasonable response? And not only did you say that you thought that they had paintballs and that you was using your flashlight on your weapon, you also said that in the transcript that you were the only one with a flashlight and that's why you pointed it up there. As if you haven't seen that they got cameras from all angles. This is why them people cried in court when they said you were guilty. because they're crazy too. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We got to do better. I love you. If I ain't love you, I wouldn't tell you the truth. If I ain't love you, I wouldn't tell you the truth. See, most of these bloggers, vloggers, YouTubers, they ain't going to tell you the raw truth. See, I'm going to tell you the raw truth, and I will open up my platform for you to go toe-to-toe with me, or you can email me and I'll talk to you privately. Or you can email. See, that's the difference between me. You can talk to me privately. It ain't got to be here. But his defense was that they had paintballs, supposedly, and he looked up there with a flashlight. Now, you tell me, I don't know what type of flashlight he had on that demonstration, but that was the weakest defense I've ever heard. What? I don't know what defense I would have came up with. I don't know. But I wouldn't have came up with that. That's for sure. That's the most elementaryest defense you ever seen. I just made up a word. Elementaryest. That's the most elementaryest. Don't worry about my word. Don't nobody use it. That's the most elementaryest defense that I've ever heard in my life. And he have a paid attorney, made donations almost hit $1 million for that defense. Wake up, people. Wake up, people. Donations almost hit $1 million. That's right. That's the most elementaryest defense I've ever seen in my life. Elementaryest. Thank you, Cryptonomics, for my spell check. He spell checked it for me. But listen to what I'm saying. Let's do this. Unbelievable to me that people still think he was set up. It says, during cross-examination, the prosecutor said he should know gun safety, considering it was revealed Thursday that he was a cloud architect in the U.S. Army. Do you know what a cloud architect is? Anybody know? A cloud architect is a very significant you know what you got to be a cloud? You know what you have to be? You know what type of clearance you would have to be a cloud architect in the U.S. Navy? I mean, the U.S. Army. Do anybody know? Do anybody know what a cloud architect is? That is one who probably manages, builds, or maintenance clouds. We are on a cloud right now with YouTube. All of the information are stored in the cloud. You are a pretty smart IT guy if you're able to do that for the U.S. Army. Because that we can talk about small scale or we can talk about large scale. Army would be considered large scale. You know what type of clearance you would need for that. And y'all think 17 years of that to screaming, talking crazy about kidnapping officials, children, and putting them in the trunk? You think that's, come on, how do you get from a cloud architect in the Navy, in the Army, I mean to say, for 17 years and this?
Call me and say, Jay, I done went back to school and scooped these niggas' kids up. What you want me to do with them? If you got the mayor tied up with duct tape and a rope in the back of your SUV and said, Jay, I got this nigga, what you want to do with it? Then you call me.
How do you go from that? How do you go from this to that? How do you do that? How do you do that? Now, do y'all remember? Let me see if I got the slide. Let me see if I got the slide. Here we go. Remember this? Watch this. Remember this video? Put your logos up. He taking names, he act like he writing. Remember this? He did this on IG. Remember this?
That doesn't have the logo. I warned you.
He's faking like he's writing down those that didn't that's following him or subscribe to him. He's faking like he's writing their name down because they didn't put a logo on their name. But in fact, he's a cloud technician for the U.S. Army. He don't have to write with no pen. You don't have to do that. Y'all remember this fiasco? Y'all remember this?
Got something for y'all this morning, too. We're going to clean house real quick this morning.
Come on.
Equipment. So don't think you can join us like we're half-assed with half your equipment. We don't do that. That's what I mean about y'all thinking less of your own people. You think you can cut corners and slide through because we black? Hell to the no. You don't do that shit with the white people. You ain't going to do it with us.
Now listen, he said that they're not going to half step and join his organization. You joining through a Facebook inquiry and an email or an IG inquiry and an email. Come on, man. We not smarter than that. TSG operations say, are they keeping his laptops too? Yep. Once you convicted, that's it. That's the government's now. Once you convicted, that's it. Because the way that it works is with any conviction, if you get found not guilty for gun charges or whatever the case may be, you can go pick your gun up and keep it moving. But once you found guilty, nah, that's done. That's done. And they confiscated. Yeah, that's done. Yeah, they done. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. So everybody's in them computers. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Look at this. Hold up. The crazy part about this entire thing is that we act as if we new to this. That's the crazy thing about this. We act as if we're so new to this because we don't study history, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But let me share this because I'm going to share how I feel about this, man. You know what I mean? We need to do better. Bottom line. Bottom line, we need to do better. Now watch this. The prosecutor closing arguments mentioned how Johnson was made aware through multiple virtual meetings with city officials that police would be on the rooftop. Prosecutor closing arguments mentioned how Johnson was made aware through multiple virtual meetings. Again, I ask you, he's meeting with officials as if he's doing a Macy's Day Parade. But he's talking like he's ready to go to war. Family, y'all don't see the contradiction? Y'all don't see the contradiction? He's talking to the people cussing. He's talking to you. This is the disrespectful part. Let me show you this. This is the disrespectful part. The way that he think of his people, he think he can talk to them anyway. You mother effers. You mother effers. These mother effers. These mother. If you mother effers ain't ready to kill, you mother effers. That's all he do. Cuss, 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 cuss. But he's sitting up there in virtual meetings. If you don't find that disrespectful, that's disrespectful. You got to talk to me because you think I'm an N-word. But you sitting up there in virtual meetings planning a Macy's Day Parade march and you ain't even in New York. You ain't even New York. You planning a Macy's Day Parade march. And let me tell you, family, for all of y'all that showed up, I salute you. For the real one that showed up, I salute you. Because you thought it was real. Because you was ready to go all out. And don't give up your hope. Don't give up your confidence. Our ancestors prayed that we come together, and we will. And we will. But we shouldn't be coming together like that. Imagine if everybody in that showed up could afford to put up $500 instead of going to the next march. You know how much difference that would make? That would make? If you had a plan to execute, to do something with that finance, you know how much difference that would make? Walking with guns, talking tough ain't making no difference. So, here we go. At the end of the day, they also said the big key point is the charges came down to knowing Johnson's intent, which they said was not to threaten anyone. That's what his attorney said. The defense also claimed Johnson had been given word that teenagers was on the roof shooting people with paintball guns, and he was shining up the light to see who was on the roof. That ain't what going to get you up out of the situation, because it's intimidation. Do you know? Hold up. We ain't done yet. Do you know he also said, and I want to see if I got it up here. Do you know he also said in the court that his gun wasn't even loaded? That was a part of his defense too. Anybody? We're going to read the transcript soon. He said the gun wasn't even loaded. That was a part of his defense. Let me see if I got it. I think I got it. A part of his defense was that, hey, I wasn't threatening anybody. The gun wasn't even loaded. Like, how we know? I guess that's what they say. What you mean it wasn't loaded? How we supposed to know? You know what I'm saying? How we supposed to know? I guess that's what they say. I'm just saying, man. Over almost $1 million raised, and that was the defense. That was the defense. You need to know this, that there is no leader that is infallible, but this is the worst of the worst. This is the worst of the worst. And anybody who's with that, they need to see a head doctor. Let me get this going real quick. I got a few more things I want to share with you. So again, I don't condone celebrating when anybody goes to jail. You know what I'm saying? I just feel some type of way about it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel some type of way about it. You know what I mean? That's just who I am. You know what I mean? It says so, oh yeah, here you go. Let me share this with y'all. This is, and I've got some more coming for y'all soon. I just want to talk for a second to show you where I'm at with this, like, and where you should be at for real when it comes to talking to people. This is what it says. This is ridiculous. Look at this. They said members of the group was in the courtroom to support Johnson. When they heard the verdict, members broke out in tears. The day ended with NFAC members raising their fists and chanting "Black Power," and Johnson telling them He loves them. Now, this is something that we need to pay attention to. I mentioned earlier about how informants seem to always commit suicide. Do y'all remember Grandmaster Jay was saying, y'all gonna let them kill me? Y'all gonna let them kill me? Anybody remember that? Anybody remember that? What was he talking about? Press 7 if you remember that. He did a video. I got it somewhere in the archives, but he did a video, kept saying, y'all gonna let them kill me? Y'all gonna let them... Who and what was he talking about? See, when you know how this game worked from history, only history will reveal the hidden encoded language that people use. That's why history is so important. When you study COINTELPRO, you will find out that they sent a woman to have sex with Huey Newton. They sent a woman to get Huey P. Newton cocained up. Huey P. Newton was a political activist, a college student, a college graduate. That don't mean nothing, but I'm just saying. They sent the woman to sex him up. Sent the woman to drug him up. He put the stuff up his nose. But what I'm telling you is that the COINTELPRO will show you to what extreme that they will go. So it's not a stretch of imagination to see that this guy is going to jail because he went all over the place. He ain't stick to the script. He was meeting with the people. He ain't stick to the script. Watch this. Look, so y'all falling for the banana in the tailpipe again. Somebody said GMJ did spark something in the people at the level that was needed, and that's what I take from it. Well, again, I would say this to be one electrician. Jim Jones sparked something in people too. Jim Jones sparked something in people where they relocated out of the country. Heaven Gates cult sparked something in people too. Ruby Ridge, John Koresh sparked something in people too. How about if that spark would have turned into a flame and directed responsibly? Do you know how many people have lost confidence and they went back into their homes, went back and put their weapons away, went back to their jobs, went back to their families, and could care less about standing for liberating a people? You know how many people that could have been a financial force turned into an economic force to compete economically, to compete politically, to compete socially? Do you know when people are misguided and misdirected and it's revealed to them, they lose their confidence? Listen, we're the only people on the planet Earth that are governed by another people. We are the only people. We don't even have a puppet government with somebody that look like us in it. And I'm talking about the whole system. When you go to China, they're governed by Chinese. You go to Nigeria, they're governed by Nigerians. You go anywhere on the planet Earth, they are governed by someone that looks like them and would hope that they would have the best interest for them. We are the only one on the planet Earth that have been governed by a system that doesn't reflect the needs of us. We are. I'm not saying that can't change, but marching with guns and cussing out police and cussing out officials is not going to change anything. Heck, if that was going to change anything, they would have been done that a long time ago. So at the end of the day, there is more need for building a political awareness so you can see why it would be important to have a distraction, for the white supremacists. See, you got the militant distraction through Grandmaster Jay. You have the rap music distraction. You have the criminal element distraction. You have the sport, the gaming, you have the weed, you have all of these distractions. And while we're distracted, the twerking distraction, the thoughting distraction, the fake religious distractions, while all of these distractions are happening, white supremacy secures its hold on us as a people. And this is a fact. And not only that, we have distractions where those amongst us would take advantage of us being distracted. So you will buy the same hope 5 times from one person. You will buy the same hope 20 times with the same lie. Now let me go here real quick. Anybody familiar with William O'Neill? The question was William O'Neill murdered? What's the mystery behind the tragic death of, and I pulled this offline, I'm gonna go over this one day. The reason why in this article I was reading that they call this tragic is because they want to figure out, and they're unable to, if he was murdered or committed suicide. Was it tragic because he couldn't live with himself, or was he killed? Now, anybody knows this story about William O'Neill, he committed just as much crimes as anybody else. He committed just as many crimes as anyone else. So you can't tell me that an informant can't go to jail, that a informant is just because he commit crime. No, you can't tell me that, because the game is dirty. The game is dirty. With that being said, and this is the brother that I pulled up earlier. Richard Aoki. Richard Aoki. Listen, family. Do you know that he was undercover for over 25 years? What I'm talking about is that nobody knew. Even after they disbanded, nobody knew. You don't think that they have found more sophisticated ways to fool you? You don't think? You don't think Aoki was running? He is the one that gave He is the one that gave Black Panther the guns that you seen them marching with. And it's been emphatically proven that he was an informant. So why are we so gullible when all the signs are right there in front of our face and we continue to move as if we don't see them? The same one that gave the Black Panthers guns was the same one that was turning in information. And you can go and check it out through the Freedom of Information Act. I mean, in fact, let me screen share this with, and y'all got to educate yourself on this thing. Educate yourself on this thing a little bit, just a little bit, so you know, so people won't keep playing us. You feel what I'm saying? So people won't keep playing us. Watch this. See this? Richard Matsu Aoki. Here's the file. I'm gonna put it in the thing. Go read it. Go read it. There you go. There you go. Go read it. Here's the file right there. You know what I'm saying? And the point that I'm making is that he was never uncovered. He wasn't uncovered. This came out later. Like real recent later. You know what? This came out so recent later, right? That, let me stop this for 1 second. Do you know, if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Do you know, I'm try to find this real quick. I think it was Geronimo Pratt, if I'm not mistaken, was the one who said that, they trying to set him up. You feel what I say? That's what I think it was. I think it was Geronimo Pratt who basically said that they are trying to set him, like whoever it was that was close founder of the Black Panthers, they didn't want to believe that this guy was an informant. They have loved him so much. They have walked with him through marches. That's a deep color right there. Then that's a deep cover right there. Yeah, block Michael Israel, please. Yeah, now that's a deep cover right there. That a real freedom fighter saying that the informant is not the informant. You follow what I'm saying? That's a really, really deep cover. And that's what goes on now. That's what's going on now. That many people want to try to act like, oh, because he got locked up. Oh, they're like, no, what did he do? He went rogue. He went crazy. He went crazy. Anybody can hit the link. Anybody can hit the link. Hold on 1 second. Now, 1 minute. But before we get there, right? Watch this. Here is we're gonna read this real quick. Just so people can know that this psyop went nuts. Let me see if I got it real quick. Where I put it at? Hold up. I just had it. Oh, This is, I hope y'all can hear this. This is Aoki. Watch this. Watch Aoki. Listen to this.
You are? Yeah. So, would you say it's untrue that you ever worked with the FBI or got paid by the FBI?
I would say it.
Yeah. And I'm trying to understand the complexities about it, and I think
it is complex.
I believe it is, and
layer upon layer.
And in the interview right there, right, Aoki, he's still denying that he worked for the FBI, although the file exists. And yeah, they could make up a file. Of course they can. But at the end of that, he says, and that was his last interview, he said, it's complex. I need some kombucha too. He said it's complex. It's real complex. Like, he asked you, did you work for the FBI? Did you get paid? And the last thing Aoki said was, it's real complex. But I'm telling you that he was never uncovered by anybody in the Black Panther Party. The Freedom of Information Act, somebody was just trolling the FBI files for the Freedom of Information Act and was like, uh-oh. So the comrades that was walking with him with guns, they never knew. Some people died, thought he was solid. Somebody died, thought he was solid. And those that was living was still defending this man. So you can't tell me that COINTELPRO is not a sophisticated program to fool and convince people that somebody is solid. And we dealing in the age of technology now. Totally different. So how do I feel about the situation? Again, I don't like anybody going to jail. But this guy was playing with fire. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that he's just a nut. Let's just say he's just a nut. Then he should have pled insanity, because what he was doing was insane. It was seriously insane. Look at this. It was seriously insane. Give me 1 second. Let me see what this is here. It was definitely insane what he was doing. Let me go to this right here. Trying to figure out. I got some things I want to share with you. But it was really insane how he was moving. And anybody in their right mind should know better. I mean, ain't nobody want to call into this stream tonight. I know you don't. I know you don't. You better not. You better not, because I'm pulling my files up tonight. That's right. I'm pulling my files up tonight. Give me 1 second. And the crazy thing about it, fam, let me tell you something. One thing about a resistance movement, right? One thing about a resistant movement is very basic. A resistant movement is really about self-defense. Anybody know that? A resistance movement is really about self-defense. A resistant movement is not about agitating police, talking crazy to police or authorities. That's not what a resistant movement is all about. When you see Huey P. Newton or you see people of the old and original Black Panther Party, when they start talking about police brutality, they're talking about circumstantial situations that happen or circumstances that happen, and they speaking to that. You found me? They're speaking to a situation, and that's why they said the pigs did this and the pigs did that. They angry because of certain situation. But when you look at people like Big Shirley, and she just randomly in 2022 talking about, yeah, and the pigs, when the pigs and the pigs and the pigs and the pigs, like in 2022, we still calling police pigs. That's what that's a red flag. Ain't nobody calling no police pigs. Ain't nobody calling. That's a dead giveaway. Just keep on calling people pigs, trying to sound like the Panthers in 1969. Ain't nobody calling nobody pigs. I could see if you're like 12. Man, you know, hey, when 12 roll up, I mean, come on, yeah. Yeah, ain't nobody fluently calling police pigs. I mean, come on, man. That's a giveaway. 12, something. You gotta do something. 50, something. But the point that I'm making is, when Grandmaster Jay came out that car for the Ahmad Aubrey situation, I knew right then and there it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't right because there is not a freedom fighter that jumps out of a car and do what he did. They don't move like that. Freedom fighters don't move like that. You follow what I'm saying? Freedom fighters, when they move, they come for defense. And if it comes to a point where things get violent, it will only come from defending themselves. It don't come from screaming, crazy, cussing, agitating. It don't come from that. You know what I'm saying? Response. When you look at, let me see right here. When you look at responsible freedom fighters, right? When you look at responsible freedom fighters, one thing for sure and two things for certain. One thing for sure and two things for certain. The Black Panthers was an intelligent group. The founders were college educated, very intelligent. And that's why they need a counterintelligence program to counter their intelligence. You hear what I say? They need a counterintelligent program to counter their intelligence. See, this stuff that we see today with Malik and man, that stuff small time COINTELPRO operatives, just trying to excite people to keep you busy, keep you distracted. That's small time. That's small time. That ain't nothing. 5 or 6 people screaming Black Power just to get a camera on. That's You ever notice that Malik Zulu Shabazz, first time he carried a gun was a fake one in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Anybody notice that? Anybody pay attention to that? The first time Malik carried a gun, was a fake gun in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm going to look for it right now. Yeah. The first time. I'm trying to tell you. See, y'all be thinking it's a game. Watch this. That's the first time he carried a gun. And can't nobody deny it. Ain't nobody seen Malik carry no gun. Because guess why? He knows the ramifications of carrying a gun. He knows. He know what it is. He know for sure what it is. So, you know what I'm missing? I wanted to share with y'all. 1 second. My computer a little bit slow tonight for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. The cloud technician up in here. I mean, the cloud technician might be up in here. Ain't nobody going to call in tonight and prove me wrong? Huh? Let me put the link up here again. Ain't nobody going to prove me wrong? I might have to go out and come in again. Let me see if I can share this with y'all. Let's see if I can. Man, my computer tightened up, man. I can't get nothing out of here. All right, let me try to go out and come back in. I got to show y'all a few more things before I get out here. How much time I got? Oh, I got some time. I'm going to leave out and come back in. I'm going to leave out and come back in. I got some things I want to show y'all. All right, I'm back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Check one, check one, check two, check two. All right, let me see if I can bring something up now. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see. Let me see if I can bring. Man, my thing was dragging. It was dragging really bad. I mean, I don't know if y'all can see it on y'all end, but on my files that I wanted to share, there it is. There it is. Okay, there we go. So, brother said he wanted a conversation, and so one of the things that y'all have to pay attention to is, praise the Lord for that I got it now. I got it up because I got a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it today. So one of the things that I wanted to share with y'all is that the moment that Grandmaster Jay knew that he was in hot water, and this is, and you can't trust a leader like this. You can't trust a leader like this. The moment that he thought he was in hot water, this is what he said. putting down the guns and picking up the people. 2021. So he switched up his whole campaign in order to try to, how are you going, what he's trying to do, and see, this is what narcissists do. What narcissists do is they think they're smarter than everybody. So he feels as though that he's going to put up a public campaign. This is why he struck OC the Great page, because this is why, do y'all remember? I want y'all to pay attention to me. I was telling OC the Great from day one that this guy was a slime. Y'all remember OC the Great? I tell him from day one, not because I dislike OC the Great. I think OC the Great is not the sharpest knife in the drawer when it comes to picking what he supports. You feel what I'm saying? He think because everybody's skin folk is friend folk and kin folk. You know what I'm saying? That's what he thinks. I think he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'm serious. You know what I mean? Like, he's riding with Grandmaster Jay on and on and on and on and on. And I'm saying to him, like, no, bro. No, bro. I'm like, no, bro. Bro, this guy's showing all the signs. But see, I know OC the Great. He old church boy. You know what I mean? Back in the day, he went to Christian college. He went to Christian. He old church boy. He don't understand. He don't understand what's going on. And he won't be a revolutionary because maybe the pastor or the father up in that little church, you know what I mean, softened him up a little bit. I don't know. So some people get into this stuff to prove their manhood. I don't know. Some people think guns prove their manhood. Some people think putting on black prove their manhood. I don't know. I mean, no. But the point that I'm making is that he's riding with Grandmaster Jay on and on and on and on and on. Grandmaster Jay end up striking his channel. You know what I mean? Grandmaster Jay end up striking his channel. Do you notice that everybody that was in support of NFAC, they stopped making videos at some point? Remember Talk Black to Me? Remember him? Remember Talk Black to Me? Say Tahaka Bay is an agent. He was slow as a tortoise too. He had a whole bunch of short bus people supporting him. And you know, the lady is a short bus guy with the dreads. You know what I mean? And Grandmaster Jay, he fighting for the people. And look at here, I got receipts. And the guy for Morse World TV, he's an agent. And he's an agent. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to Talk Black to Me. Remember that guy? Y'all don't remember him? I'm pulling him up for yes. That's why I'm talking to these fools tonight. That's right. Forgive me. Talking to them tonight. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all remember him? Go support him. I'm gonna show you something. You know what I mean? They had to get the truth. You know what I mean? Y'all remember this guy? Here we go. Go check him out. Y'all remember this guy? I ain't finished. I got some more stuff coming now. I got my computer acting right now. Y'all remember him?
Depend on.
Y'all remember him? Yeah. Grandmaster Jay was fighting for the people, for the liberation and the people. Hit the like button. People really listening to this guy. I mean, people really listening to this guy. I'm telling this fool, he comes on Morse World TV to try to debate me with talking. And then he started talking about Noble Drew Ali. Y'all remember that? He came on Morse World TV to debate me about Grandmaster Jay as he an agent and start talking about Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali, he had sex with little girls. Noble Drew Ali, like what? What we debating? Noble Drew Ali or what are we doing? None of that stuff bother me. We can debate that too, but goodness gracious. Man, I said, where these people come from? Let me tell you something. Somebody said I'm gonna have to look up that show. I'm gonna find it for you. I find it for you, ODB. It was unbelievable to me. It was unbelievable to me. He started talking about Noble Drew Ali, and I said, goodness gracious, listen. And then, and I don't care what y'all say. I like the brother Major TV, but he talk a little bit. Major TV, I know you watching. I'm gonna call you. He emailed me. I like Major TV, but look, Major TV. He said when Samir was on this show, he said you're talking reckless. You talk. Major TV. He had Samir on the show. He said you're talking reckless, like he don't know Samir, King Samir. Boss talk so dumb, he couldn't even get into NFAC. And everybody that was representing on the camera for NFAC with blog talks, man, they seem crazy. Most of them seem crazy. I ain't talking about those that was on the ground with boots on the ground. I'm talking about those that was representing as a media outlet for NFAC. Blog. Karen Boss talk couldn't even make the cut. NFAC don't deny nobody except for Boss Talk. Kern. Hey, it's a guy, if y'all ain't familiar, it's a guy named Boss Talk, right? His name Dern. His name Dern for real. Like, he fruity as 13 fruitcakes, right? But anyway, the NFAC don't turn down nobody. But they got denied. He was making videos kicking, windmilling, and all type of stuff. He was spinning around, hitting bags. He was doing all type of stuff. I'm trying to tell you. He came on there a couple weeks ago. He had a gun. He put the clip in backwards. I mean, the clip wouldn't go in backwards. He just put it, he couldn't figure it out. After 2 years later, he get a 22 talking about he got an AR. Hey, man, you can't make this stuff up. Yeah. You can't make this stuff up. He waited 2 years after NFAC and go get a 22 and then do the same thing that Grandmaster Jay do. You mean, he called a 22 an AR, I think. Grandmaster Jay said he got a bull puppy. What? And then he went from fighting people that yell Black Power to having a co-host that's of the rainbow community that's clearly European, and his sister. Oh my God. His sister tougher than him. And guess what he got nerve say? Tahaka beat up women. Moi? I show receipts. Moi? I would never respond to you, you weirdo. You people crazy. You people need help. For real. You people need help. Because y'all was thinking, and I'm talking about those on the media front. OC the Great. I mean, Major TV, I think he going to be all right. I think Major TV going to be all right. Because a lot of these people just want to be bloggers or vloggers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of them want to be bloggers or vloggers, but they choosing the wrong topic. You know what I mean? This is not a good topic to be talking about. for a vlogger who has not been in the freedom fighting area or uplifting area of our community. It's just not a good topic because people like OC the Great, soon as somebody get a patch on their chest, he thinks that they're legitimate. Soon as somebody wave a red, black, and green flag, he'll bring them on. Soon as somebody starts screaming Black Power and raise their fist, he truly thinks that they are really revolutionaries. Anybody, I'm trying to tell you, listen, you can bring a European up there with dreadlocks on their head screaming Black Power, and OC the Great would bring them on the show and talk to them as if they were Bob Marley mixed with Huey P. Newton. He would. He would. Because some people be so desperate for content, you know what I'm saying, as it relates to the Black Power movement, the militia movement, all that. They be so desperate for content that they will go with anything. Like, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying, man? This stuff is fake, phony, and fictitious. But now let's go to the next. I had my laugh there. Shout out to OC the Great. We're going to be friends soon. That's my bro. I like OC the Great. At least he try. I mean, nothing beat a failure but a try. You hear what I say? Don't nothing beat a failure but a try. That's right. But look, hold up. Let me get a little something. Anyway. So family, at the end of the day, your bro is locked up. And this is what comes up on the record for the record. Now you go to the actual website. Look at that smirk. Go to the website and look it up for yourself. How in the world is federal charges unknown? Huh? You know, sometimes these agents can walk in the front door and out the back door, and then walk in the back door and out the front door and say that they released. Y'all, listen. The point that I'm making is that know what you're dealing with. Morse World TV is about bringing awareness. Morse World TV is not to throw another brother under the bus without sound evidence, and much of it is circumstantial due to the fact that most informants, let me say this, most informants are not supposed to be uncovered. Most informants are not supposed to be easy to detect. Most informants are moving in such a way that there will be a hint of doubt. But here is the key. Here is the key. Grandmaster Jay is from Cincinnati, Ohio. The last time you went to his neighborhood in Cincinnati, Ohio, the last time that he patrolled his own community in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's look at the murder rate in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're going to do this on the fly. All right. Here we go. Here we go. So here we go. See, this is how simple This is our real life hit, right? And I'm doing this on the fly. This is how you can tell genuine people, because charity starts at home. All right. So right here. And this is on the fly. Let me see if I can blow it up just a little bit for you. Hold up. This is on the fly. Let me try to read it for you real quick. On May 12th at 4:50 a.m., Cincinnati police received a 911 call to 5100 Hawaiian Terrace reference of a person down. District officer, along with Cincinnati personnel, responded and located an unresponsive male suffering from a stab wound. The victim been identified as Christopher Beck, 34 years old. On May 12th, 22, approximately 11:50 a.m., Cincinnati Police Homicide Unit, with assistant of District 5 officer, arrested Tanika. Tanika put knife on him, supposedly. European. Okay, here we go. Homicide investigation, May 5th, 2022. I bet you if you go down here and stroll down, you'll see enough crime in Cincinnati where there is no reason not to have some type of campaign going on in your hometown. There is no reason. You follow what I'm saying? And that's the issue. That's the first sign and the first giveaway. The first giveaway is there is no home ground game going on. You hear what I say? Listen, when one shows up, you take Big Shirley. You take Big Shirley, for instance, right? Sister Crystal. I ain't gonna call her Big Shirley no more. You take Sister Crystal. Everybody know Crystal is from Houston. All of the drama in Houston would be enough to keep any activist busy. Look at Gorilla Mainframe. Look at Huey P. Newton. Huey P. Newton Gun Club. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at Anubis. It's enough drama right there in your hometown to keep you busy. So if you are constantly going outside of your hometown because of a big story, most likely you're being dispatched. Take Black Lives Matter and the founders of Black Lives Matter. The same thing. I think anybody is suspect that focus majority of their attention to national stories as opposed to local things that happen on that doorfront, on that doorstep. I'm not saying that you don't focus on the national stories. I agree. Deal with that too. But it got to be both. And Big Shirley used to deal with a lot of stories in Houston. She used to deal with a lot of story in Houston until they snatched her up. I believe somebody snatched her up. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I mean, somebody say, didn't he move to GA? No, he never moved to no GA. The news have been reporting that he live in Georgia, but that's false. That's false. That's false. When you look at Malik Zulu Shabazz, Malik live in PG County. Malik live in PG County. Run into a story after story after story after story, national story. That's suspect. That's super suspect. That's super suspect. You know what I mean? And hold on one second. That's super suspect. Let me pull this back up real quick. Yep. Look at this. Now y'all might see if I can get this one. Let's look at this real quick. Y'all remember this? Y'all might can't hear this.
Not just about guns. When it comes to our own people, as I said before, we're putting down the guns and we're picking up our people.
Now let me tell you one of the things that you have to play with. Papa say, I'm suspect. Come on in, talk to me, big brother. Let's see. Papa say I'm suspect. Let's go. Papa, you can hit the link. Come on. Papa say I'm suspect. Come on in, Papa Rage 2.0. Come on up in here. I'm suspect. Come on. Like, what do you determine suspect? Because I'm observing somebody moves and I'm pointing them out. That makes me suspect. Well, heck, I guess the news and everybody who has an opinion, talk show, blog show, I guess everybody on YouTube suspect. Then if that's your qualifications or what qualifies suspect, I'm looking at things that people do and I point them out. There you go. Tap on in. Tap in. Don't block Papa. Come on, tap on in. Tap in. Papa Rage. If you don't tap in 5, I'm gonna go ahead and block you because you just here to you're another one. You're another one. You know what I mean, come on in. Come on in. Where you at? Oh, that's what I thought. But I'm gonna block you, but you can still hit the link and I'll unblock you. Where Papa Rage at? Let me block him because he don't want no smoke. But with that being said, one of the things that you have to be careful with, and to my audience of European descent, let me say this to you. This even happens in your environment when you have people like Ruby Ridge and they want to stand for something, or you have people that's like that pushes the rebel flag. Like, my thing, this is America. You can push whatever you want to push. But even in your environment, whether you support it or not, you know what I'm saying, there is something that you stand for where there will be infiltrators. You know what I'm saying? There will be infiltrators. I focus on the infiltrators within my audience. Somebody said, why did you block my sister? Who is your sister? Why did you block my sister? Who is your sister? There go my sister right there, Rosemary Parker. Do anybody know who Rosemary Parker is? This is the beautiful sister that was a friend to Grandmaster Jay, that tried to help him, that tried to warn him to chill. And he was a weird, I can't wait till she give me my interview, but this is Rosemary Parker, who first organized to help Grandmaster Jay out. This is the one where the slow guy that I just showed earlier, he tried to call her out her name, disrespect her, but I've communicated with Miss Rosemary. You understand what I'm saying? I've communicated with her. We actually did a interview, a recorded interview. I played part of it on the show before. But that's the thing. Grandmaster Jay went rogue. And Miss Rosemary, was a friend of his, and they tried to attack her. They tried to attack her, discredit her, shame her, to try to silence her. And this is what people don't understand. When somebody is in, he used to be one of his ex-wives as an excuse. He used one of his ex-wives as an excuse why he didn't, and I questioned him. Dealing with a Grandmaster Jay, a narcissist like that is so violent. You know what I'm saying? He's so violent from when he was in, maybe his experience in the army or something. You know what I mean? Especially, with the report, people might say the same thing about me. But I would imagine Miss Parker was like, hold up, man, he got all these crazy people around him. He done made himself up to be an iconic god. He doing all this crazy stuff. I'm going to fall back. You know what I mean? And that was another thing. Somebody said, notice how Sinetta purposely always called Grandmaster Jay, Jam Master Jay, protecting the fraud. That's another thing that was odd to me, blessed with the melon. Another thing that was odd to me was that all of these people that are supposed to be conscious, supposed to be in liberating chats or talks, nobody questioned Grandmaster Jay, Tariq, myself, and a few others. Tariq Nasheed, myself, and a small few others. Only everybody else was trying to ride out with him. Tariq Nasheed got cussed out, disrespected, because he called a spade a spade. You know what I had to go through. Because I stayed on the story. Oh, man, that's why I'm going to stay on the story. Because I already know where this is going. I already know what this is doing. And I'm gonna put a documentary together because let me show you some type of stuff I got. Let me show you type of stuff I got. Hold up 1 second. I'm gonna show you something that I know y'all ain't seen. Hold on. Show you type of stuff I got. All right. I like this one. All right. Let's see. But y'all ain't seen this one. Look at him. What's his name? He going on a march. Okay. This Stone Mountain. Look at him. Do y'all see this fool about to go on a march carrying 2 automatic weapons? Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Y'all see this? He's marching with 2 weapons. I'm going to stop right there. What military officer walked with 2? Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? You mean all of these people that handle guns that was around him, seeing him marching with 2 guns, didn't think that was odd? Nobody walking around be like, man, what this fool doing? This fool walking with 2 guns. Somebody said, did you ever interview OC? Yeah, I interviewed OC. Absolutely. It's on here. It's on here. He walking with 2 guns to march up Stone Mountain. And I got listen. This fool super crazy, man. Listen. Let me do it one more time. Unbelievable. And I want to show y'all something too. Y'all remember everybody was talking about. Look at that. Look at him. Come on, man. Who does this, man? This is what we doing, man. This is what we doing for real. You mean ain't nobody? Rosemary, email. I'm gonna email you later. Maybe we can set up a show and talk about your experience if you wish to. But look at this, man. Come on, man. Let me show you off something else to that suspect that I find to be suspect. Give me 1 second. Oh, let me finish this first. I wanted to say this. If the need comes, pick up. In this video, he's talking about putting the guns down and picking the people up. The funny part is that he always shows out for Eurocentric media. And when he talks to Eurocentric media, he's very articulate, he's very calm, and he's very persuasive in his intentions to convey his message. But when he talked to all hip hop or a media with our face, he talked as if he got a ghetto garbage potty mouth. Look at this. I can't answer that question. That's going to be answered by your decision. We felt the need to pick up the guns before because of Ahmad. We felt the need. He said we felt the need to pick up the guns because of Ahmad Aubrey. There wasn't even no NFAC with Ahmad Aubrey. There wasn't even no NFAC. Pick up the guns because of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and the list goes on. We felt that need. And this is so disingenuous that he's saying that we felt the need to pick up the gun for Breonna Taylor but that stuff solved nothing. It did nothing. It did not one thing. Last but not least. So at the end of the day, I feel as though that people want to forget. People want to forget things such as this. How he faked in the rap game, photoshopped himself in pictures. He did this. I didn't do this. He photoshopped himself in pictures. He did this. The tech guy photoshopped himself in pictures. He did this. This came off of some of his page. I got so much stuff. Like in the beginning, I knew. Let me show you what I did. Let me show you what I did. So when I first started studying Grandmaster Jay, right? From the time that he jumped out in the Ahmad Aubrey situation, and he was introduced by what they will call Rottweiler, but Rottweiler is nothing but AJ from Pansat. When he was introduced, you're not blocked. Somebody say I'm blocked. Elf Newbie, you're not blocked. Newbie blocked. You're not blocked. When why would you follow a great pretender? So when I seen the thing about Ahmad Aubrey, I'm like, nah, this guy ain't right. Like, this guy ain't right. So I started to research him. I didn't go in on him in the beginning. Many people thought I did, but I really didn't. I really waited for maybe, let me see something. I'm going to go to my channel. I waited for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I talked to a friend of mine named Talik L. And Talik L was like, you got to be careful, Grand Sheik, because people love the brother. People support the brother. I'm like, nah, this brother ain't right. But what I begin to do is do research, and I begin to grab stuff that I find and make folders, you know, and put the stuff away, because I knew it was going to come a time that I was going to need it. You know what I'm saying? To verify who this guy is. And I started finding all sorts of stuff. And I'm glad I did, because once he began to get real popular towards the end of, I think it was 2020, if you will. When was that thing? Breonna Taylor. Let me see. Yeah, 2020. Towards the end of 2020, he started getting real popular, and all of his sites begin to come down. All of the stuff that was representing the misinformation about him being a DJ was being removed. You know what I'm saying? It was being removed over and over and over again. And I'm like, bro, this crazy. Bro, this crazy. And that's how I knew something wasn't right either. Because anything that I ever put up on social media is there. From my first post on my Facebook is there. That's why people can go to my Facebook and say, look at the mole on his mother's eye. So that's why people can go, I don't care. You know what I mean? Look at his son. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that I put there is there. But when I was going back, I'm like, man, it's gone. It's gone. Like, let me try this real quick. Let me download this one real quick before I get out of here. Because ain't nobody want to call it. So I think at this point, he could have walked in the front door and out the back door. I can't guarantee you that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I want to see if I pulled it down. Oh, man. I got some new stories coming for you, too. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy. Yeah, it's going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy. Yep, then IG banned him. Yep. So long story short, and Grandmaster Jay reached out to me when I did the first thing on Grandmaster Jay. He reached out to me and I said, brother, I just want to interview you. And ask you some hard questions. And he actually agreed to the interview. And then he came back and said, call my secretary and set it up. And I realized he didn't give me a number to call a secretary. Like, man, you ain't got no secretary. Somebody said, where the heck did he come from? Who knew him before the march? The only person that knew Grandmaster Jay before the march on that has come forth is Miss Rosemary Parker. And they try to dog her, intimidate her, and throw her under the bus. But that's the only one that I know that knew Grandmaster Jay before the march. And then you have people that he tried to use to validate himself, like the sister that rap. I forget her name. I forget, because he used to promote rap. This is how it appeared that he's a DJ. He used to promote rappers. In fact, I think he was infiltrating the rap game for real. I think he was infiltrating the rap game, trying to. He was just unsuccessful at it because he played that game like he was a real DJ. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so Rod Digger. There you go, Uncle G. Rod Digger. And so Rod Digger relationship with him, my understanding is that he just paid her to perform at certain places. You feel me? Let's be honest, the gun clubs and black militias pushed this guy forward as though he was the real and legit. And I definitely agree with Kilimanjaro at that. They held him up because they were ready to rock and roll anyway. You got to understand the climate too, Kilimanjaro. You got to understand the climate that at the end of the day, that people were fed up with police brutality. So and Michi X too, people were fed up with police brutality. People was fed up, keep turning on the news. Even now, people fed up, they keep seeing on the news. You know what I'm saying? And so if it wasn't him and somebody else would have did it, it would have had the same response. I think that Grandmaster Jay is actually trained and more charismatic than the average. But I think it still would have had maybe the same response if someone had came and said, we going to Louisville. Everybody bring your guns. We meeting at Louisville or something like that. But I think even the Stone Mountain March was a facade and a fraud. I think that was the test. I think that was the test parachute jump. Because, I mean, who up there cussing at us at a mountain? And they say, okay, we got word that a white supremacist said that if any quote unquote blacks march at Stone Mountain, we gonna kill them. Like, we don't even know who said that. That seemed like somebody just threw that out there. And then everybody rallied around the thought and marched at Stone Mountain and cuss out a mountain. Like, you told us to go there. Like, come on, man. Who does that? That somebody random say, if black people show up at Stone Mountain, we're going to kill black people. And then somebody say, all right, everybody, let's go to Stone Mountain. Somebody say, yes, you know what you just did? It gave people hope, and it was another put down. Now people going to double think before it happens. Eventually, it's just going to be talk and get no action. Yes, you know what you just did? It gave people hope, and it was another put down. Oh, so this is the thing. I think that we need to keep, in Jesse words of Jesse Jackson, is keep hope alive. And the words of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, let hope be your forever beacon light. See, there's going to come a time that we're going to have to govern ourselves, whether we like it or not. We are at the end of times right now. Everything that you see, whether you believe in the Bible, whether you believe in the signs of the times, whether you believe in the Quran, whether you believe in just natural phenomenon, we are at the end of times. And I got you, J World. We are at the end of times. See, you don't have to believe in Islam as taught in the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam as taught in the East. You don't have to believe in Buddhism. You don't have to believe in the Bible. You don't got to be a Christian. You don't got to be none of that. You can be a person that believes in the signs of the time. And the signs is telling that we are at the end of times. And when I say end of times, I'm not talking about that everybody going to fall and crumble. No, it's about to get down and get down. It's going to get down to the nitty gritty. I mean, it's going to get down to the nitty gritty. You're going to have to be prepared. So the best preparation is awareness. Imagine when it gets to the point where people got to fight for food. Imagine when the person that you grew up with thought was your friend and he's ready to, or she's ready to stab you in your neck just to get a ramen noodle, if it ever came to that. Will you be able to feel the energy around the person? Would you be able to see that look in a person's eyes or feel the energy? Would you be able to do that? Would you be able to read between the lines? Would you be able to smell the game a mile off? Because that's what it's going to come to. It's going to come to your 5 inner senses. You hear what I say? It's going to come to your 5 inner senses to be able to determine who's who. So stop falling for the okie doke. Not let people scream black power. Don't let people scream the white man, the devil. Don't let people scream F the pigs. And then you get all riled up and think they for you. The main one that's screaming white man, the devil, the main one that's screaming F the pigs, the main one that's screaming black power, those are the ones that you might want to run from. Because there's some people out there that is actually acquiring resources, actually acquiring things that will sustain them during the time when things hit a crescendo. It's actually real people out there saving up with seeds. It's actually real people out there saving up some mortar. It's actually real people learning how to make mortar from mud. It's actually people really out there, just in case, liquidating money into some tangible goods that can be used for trade. It's some real people out there. So at the end of the day, you might don't want to believe me. At the end of the day, you might call me an agent. I could care less. But at the end of the day, you should be able to feel with your eyes closed who's who. You should be able to feel with your eyes closed who's who. And if it don't feel right, it might not be right. This is why Moorish science to me is so important. Because I can look into the metaphysical world and I can see who's who. I'm not spot on all the time. Don't get it twisted. But it saved me many a times. I'll let people believe that they got one over on me and watch them. I'll let people believe that they're more intelligent and let them build their confidence. I'll let people believe that I didn't see them and let them get more reckless. I let people believe what they want to believe because I can feel with my eyes closed. Learn to feel with your eyes closed. Let no man play you. Let no woman play you. Let no man bait you into some fake nonsense that you may never be able to get out. With that being said, family, thank you for all your support. I'll be back tomorrow. I think I got a show tomorrow. It's going to be an amazing show tomorrow. Anybody know Taj Tariq Bey? I got to debunk. This guy. Hold up. I'm going to try to upload it real quick. I'm going to debunk this guy real quick. I'm going to debunk this guy. It's a guy that I have to debunk. Y'all know Taj Tariq Bey. I got to go religious on y'all tomorrow. Now, in this one that I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to try to do it tomorrow, as long as I don't get no mess on the home front. You know what I mean? What I'm going to try to do is, let me show you. Oh, I know where it's at. This is the one I'm going to try to do tomorrow, family. I don't think you want to miss. This is going to be a good lesson tomorrow. I'm going to show you how these manipulators, if you will, I'm going to show you how these manipulators of religion comes and play these games with our people. And I'm going to go. All right, here we go. So if y'all not familiar with Taj Tariq Bey, he has a son named Hannibal Bey. You know what I'm saying? And I want to, listen, even if you don't know anything about Moorish science, it's good to watch the show so you can be in the know. Because Moorish science is getting more popular by the day. Moorish Science Temple of America is getting more and more popular. The Moors are more and more popular. But the fraud and the madness is more popular than the realness. And so it'll be good just so you know what's going on. So the show that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, my next show, unless something more important come up, I'm going to be talking about Taj Tariq's son, Hannibal. Straight fraud. Straight fraud in the name of Moorish Science Temple of America. And I'm going to show you the comparisons of how these people manipulate people in the name of religion. The soon as a person put on a turban, soon as a person put on a fez, soon as a person look the part of a religious person, man, we go all doodly why squiddly dot over the top of the hill and we do the same thing. We do the same thing. But I'm telling you that I'm the more you're going to remember because I'm going to call them out. I'm going to call them out. So tomorrow it'll be a good lesson. Like father, like son. I know y'all familiar with Taj Tariq Bey. Well, we're going to take him to task. We're going to take him to task tomorrow. And I invite him to. And I'm not going to be disrespectful. That ain't what I do. I'm going to prove your information wrong. Thank you, my brother Akata. I'm going to prove your information wrong. Listen, whenever I talk about somebody, if I call you a fraud, if you prove to me that you're not a fraud, I will apologize. I will apologize. Anthony B said, I don't know any of these clowns. Anthony B, I'm going to tell you though, be in the know because this Moorish propaganda is flowing now. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. It's weird and it's all over the place. But with that being said, let me Sound like some Mauritius side baseball. Yeah, most people, yeah. And so I just want people to be in the know what's out there. Moorish is getting more and more popular, but it's that fraud Moorish stuff that has taken people to the cleaners. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that has taken people to the cleaners. And that's the stuff we need to be aware of. And so that's the stuff that I'm going to put you on with. Have a good night. It's 12:30 on the East Coast. See y'all tomorrow night. Moorish World TV did it again.
Pick up guns. We do. You ain't bombing black people for real. You ain't ready to give your fucking life and get the fuck out of here right now. I'm gonna wait. Because somebody got this motherfucking pussy.
Check the roof. 2 o'clock. Assume the position. Now. Two o'clock.
Hey, everybody who don't know, this garage right here goes up higher in that building. And if you get on this garage, you have to find it. You looking down.
Walking around. Everybody. So on that stage, everybody can sleep with my friends. Stage you go to. There's the way we get. That's to put it. I want it so that nobody gets too far going in there. Right. So what's going to happen is we're going to do that tomorrow. We just can't do it now because of the traffic. But it'll be set up.
And to law enforcement, if you really want to have the worst day in U.S. history, if you really want to see what it's like to all that shit you carry, what it's like when they know how to shoot back, if you really want it like that, we're going to bring it to you. You see, the city of Minneapolis, you got one chance to fix this shit. Because when we show the fuck up, it's gonna be the worst thing. Don't call your National Guard out. We got something for them. You call me and say, Jay, I done went back to school and scooped these niggas' kids up. What you want me to do with them? If you got the mayor tied up with duct tape and a rope in the back of your SUV and say, Jay, I got this nigga, what you want to do with it? Then you call me.
Pay attention to the stairs. That is John Fitzgerald Johnson. This is March 9th, 2016 at the
Essentially, provide your number. Just need to make an initial outreach and contact. What I had envisioned, what the Lord had put on my heart, was for you and I to perhaps have a private man to be in public, but just you and I sitting down.
Us divided. We are the United States of America, one country, indivisible, unto God.
Nah, hold up, they been doing this all day. Everybody who's ex-military, raise their hand. Yeah. Yeah. I want everybody at the military to keep an eye out on the people who are not. I'm expecting more from you than I am from these civilians.
Y'all laughing, he rolling. I'm telling it, listen. So now they done got some people in there that we a little friendly with, but that's the problem. We didn't win shit.
They do they racism nice.
Right,
See,
right.
Trump keep on your toes.
Right.
You know?
And I know this gonna sound crazy. I know it, but see, the only thing that Trump did that was good was he exposed what was already there. He brought it to the surface.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. Family, see y'all tonight, 9:30. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the